Hey everyone, and welcome to Quick Review. Today I'm looking at Druidstone, a turn-based strategy RPG from the makers of Legend of Grimrock. Well, I can't say that I'm incredibly familiar with the Legend of Grimrock. I don't think it really matters, because the games aren't even remotely similar. I initially decided to take a look at this game because something about it visually reminded me of Heroes of Might and Magic. Don't ask me why, it just did. I'm going to stop talking about other games now. Druidstone initially seems like a simplified turn-based strategy game, largely because of limited character selection and short and simple missions. However, as you progress through Druidstone, you realize that you don't need a wide array of characters to make a game complex. As you progress, you do gain the ability to summon other playable characters to help you in a variety of ways, and some missions will throw extra characters into your party as well. For the most part though, the story revolves around a small handful of characters that you can level up, equip, and upgrade in a variety of ways. This is where Druidstone takes a simple concept and adds some layers of complexity. There are a lot of abilities. You generally gain access to them through leveling your characters up. Every level, you'll get to choose from a set of new skills. You can also gain abilities through equipment when you get to that point in the game where you can start purchasing equipment. Once you have skills and equipment, you'll be able to upgrade each individual skill or equipment with green gems. These upgrades can have a variety of effects depending on what you're upgrading. For example, most skills have a limited number of usages per battle. You can upgrade skills to increase the number of usages that they have. Alternatively, you could upgrade skills to increase their damage, upgrade them to add status effects on use, or a variety of other things. Because the number of gems are somewhat limited, you need to make choices that make the most sense for your playstyle and how you plan on approaching a battle. However, you can't make any real mistakes here. You can move these upgrades around freely, so if you don't want an extra usage of an ability anymore, you can instead move that upgrade over to an equipment slot to gain a little more health instead. Because the number of gems are somewhat limited, you need to make choices that make the most sense for your playstyle and how you plan on approaching a battle. However, you can't really make any mistakes here. You can move these upgrades around freely, so if you don't want an extra usage of an ability anymore, you can instead move that upgrade over to an equipment slot to gain a little more health instead. While I never personally did this, you can also move your upgrades around or equipment around to better fit a specific battle. If you're mid-battle and you realize you want some undead killing skills that you have equipment for, you can re-equip your characters and reset the battle with your new gear. I imagine this could be helpful if you jump into a battle and realize you're just not set up properly at all, but again, I never really encountered this scenario, but the option is there if you want it. Missions, battles, quests, whatever we want to call them, are also tackled in a somewhat player-controlled manner. At any given time, you'll often have a variety of locations to pick from, so if you're stuck on a specific battle for whatever reason, you can travel elsewhere, level up, and come back to the same fight later on when you are ready. With that said, I played through the game on normal mode and didn't really run into any particularly difficult fights. It's entirely possible that hard mode could provide a deeper challenge, but my review is heavily fixated on normal. With that said, while the missions are generally easy, some fights did involve planning. I did replay some missions when I was caught off guard by new enemies spawning when I thought I was safe, and difficulty aside, I enjoyed almost every battle I took part in. What wasn't easy was completing some of the bonus objectives. This ties back to skill upgrades a little bit as well. Remember those green gems you needed to upgrade abilities? Well, a lot of green gems come from completing bonus objectives in missions. Some bonus objectives are actually challenging and require an understanding of what's going to happen in a specific mission. The nice thing about these bonus objectives, though, is that you can come back and retry them later. Basically, this game offers the player a lot of choice. You're given many options to play this game the way you want to and at the pace you want to. If you want to grind to level up your characters, go for it. If you want to try to get every objective on a mission's first try, go for it. If you want to come back to some missions later on to 100% them, you're free to do that as well. However, there are some missions you will need to complete at some point in time, as many missions are directly tied to the game's story and progress into other areas of the map, so you're not completely free. With that said, the game's story is solid. It's a simple tale with mildly interesting characters, and there's a lot of world to explore as well, which will give you bits and pieces of information about characters and who they really are. Last but not least, there are also some missions that are essentially just puzzles. They're usually littered around to just give you some extra gems for upgrades, and they were all relatively straightforward. This isn't a puzzle game, but there are a few puzzles sprinkled in here and there. Anyways, that's Druidstone. It's a simple yet complex turn-based strategy game that I genuinely enjoyed playing. It might challenge you at times, and it might not. I think this largely comes down to your experience with strategy games in general. I think it's a well-paced game, each character does their own thing and has their own purpose in battle, and you have so many customization options to build each character and what you want it to be. Is it the best turn-based strategy game ever? Probably not, but I think it's worth a pickup if you're craving some solid turn-based action. And don't forget, this is just in my opinion. If you feel like I left something out, disagree, or just want to suggest something else for me to review, leave a comment. If you enjoyed this review, feel free to like and subscribe. That way you can easily see what else I'm reviewing in the future. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and check back weekly for more reviews.